Talking college sports in the Deep South where college football is king. We want to think that the SEC conference is one of the more powerful conferences in all of college football. Some of the best student athletes in the country are attracted to the SEC conference. Also, we want to think that the SEC West arguably one of the more powerful sub-conferences, if nothing else because of the fierce rivalries and also being able to attract as well some of the better student athletes in the country. Down in East Alabama, where Auburn University rests, they call this place the loveliest village on the plains, where the battle cry is War Eagle. Fearless and true, gang. Let's go ahead and get this comment section active. Let's get the comments up. Let's get the likes up. Let's go ahead and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. We're talking Joey Gatewood today. Joey Gatewood, is one of the front runners for the starting quarterback at Auburn University this year. Out of Bertrand Trail High School, led the Bears to the Florida State Class 7A finals. He passed for 1,468 yards and 12 touchdowns. Also rushed for another 1,100 yards and 12 scores. As a senior, had the privilege of attending the Under Armour All-American game. He also participated in track as well. Has been garnishing a lot of comparisons in his gameplay to Cam Newton, former Heisman Trophy winner out of Auburn back in 2010, that led Auburn to its first national championship since 1957. Now, Joey Gatewood likes to refute a lot of the Cam Newton comparisons. And in my honest opinion, I think that is a very flattering thing to say about a young man. But when you have a guy as intense as Joey Gatewood, who approaches the game the way that he does, he wants his own identity, and rightfully so. What are some of the things that I like about Joey Gatewood? Now, we go back to the spring game, right? And we just didn't see what we're going to be able to see out of Joey Gatewood in live action. This kid is definitely a different type of quarterback when the orange jersey is off, when he's able to, be prepared for certain amounts of contact. So when we look at Joey Gatewood as a quarterback, what do we see? Well, we see a quarterback that likes to roll out and stretch the pocket. That's the strength of his intermediate pass. He likes to roll out and he likes to find either the intermediate guy or he may find someone wide open across the middle. But being just a traditional drop back passer in his passing element is not necessarily, I'm not going to say it's not a strength, but it's not a comfort zone for Joey Gatewood. He likes action. He likes having to roll out. He likes being ingenuitive with the football. As a runner, one of my favorite aspects about Joey Gatewood's game is the quarterback, the design quarterback draw up the middle. Similar to Cam Newton, but he's a lot more shifty, somewhat like, not nearly as fast as Nick Marshall, but he's very effective and shifty in that particular play. And you can tell he really likes to run that play because he runs that play with a lot of intent and a lot of tenacity. So that's going to really help the Auburn offense out, presuming that he's going to be the starter, especially with play calling in short yardage situations. Because what Auburn is going to have is potentially the short yardage capabilities of Joey Gatewood. Also, Boobie Whitlow, who likes to run in the Wildcat. But now that you have a guy like Joey Gatewood, the Wildcat may not be as necessary, and you open up other play calling options on third down. Also, what you will find is that, Joey Gatewood is also very shifty. Even on the edge, he's not quite as quick as Nick Marshall is, but he's a little bit quicker than Cam Newton on the edge, and he's a very shifty kind of guy. He has the unique ability to make guys miss, which will be very important in stretching plays out, especially in the SEC. I'm very interested to see how he attacks Andy Avalo's defense from Oregon. Oregon is going to put a lot of pressure on him. That video is coming out pretty soon. But when you look at Joey Gatewood, his main strength as a quarterback is within the 30-yard trajectory of the football field. Now, as far as the deep passes go, what I saw on film is that, Usually his deep pass is effective once the defenses are already off balance. His strength is not going to be just dropping back and throwing the deep ball. His deep ball is going to be more so effective after the defense is already off balance. One thing I like too as well is his ingenuitive skills. When he starts to get pressure from the opposing defensive line, he's strong enough to still maintain that pressure, but still keep his eyes downfield and make plays downfield. That's something that I saw a lot of his film in high school, is that he has the strength to, stretch plays out and maybe find a tight end across the middle once the pressure really starts to get profound in that regard. Now, we want to note that Auburn struggled mightily on the offensive line last year. Of course, in my opinion, I think the start of fixing what's happening with the offensive line is to either upgrade the center or replace the center, because the center proved to be a huge liability with the offensive line last year. But with Joey Gatewood as a quarterback, he has the ability to maneuver around the pocket to help give the offensive line some type of confidence that they're not just totally screwing up, because he has the ability to scramble. He's very strong, and he wants to make plays with his feet, as well as he's very comfortable with making plays with his arm as well. I'm very excited about what I see out of Joey Gatewood coming into this 2019 season. He's very strong, very top-heavy type kid. He's about 6'3". Maybe some outlets list him as around about 6'4". Some have even listed him as much as 6'5". 230 plus pounds, probably about 235, and very, very, very active in the interior, the intermediate portion of the football field. He's going to do a great job of keeping defenses off balance. And the great news for Joey Gatewood is the skill set around him. You're talking about great wide receivers, Matthew Hill, Seth Williams, Sal Cannella. Also, you have one of the fastest human beings in the world in Anthony Schwartz. Then you look at the backfield. You have guys like Boobie Whitlow. I'm really big on the worm, Sean Shivers, who has proven to be not only a pretty serviceable running back, but although he's stature-wise, not really all that big, but he runs like a big running back. He has a lot of strength and power. So Joey Gatewood and Bo Nix, presuming who will be the starter, has access to a great deal of skill position talent to help take this Auburn offense to a whole nother level. I'll go out on the limb and say this. With Joey Gatewood as a quarterback, I talked about this a while back to where I didn't particularly, want to see a quarterback that had to, run for 1,000 yards. But when I really dissected the film on Joey Gatewood, with his physicality and with what he could potentially bring to the table, I don't see a 1,000-yard running quarterback as out of the question. I definitely don't want to see that out of Bo Nix, because I just don't think Bo Nix will have the durability. But as far as Joey Gatewood, I'm all for Joey Gatewood with 1,000 yards running, having a 1,000-yard back, and also being able to throw for, say, 2,000 yards coming into the 2019 season. Now, my commentary today may say that I'm, favoring Joey Gatewood, and that could be true. I like Joey Gatewood's physicality. I really like his tenacity, and I also like the fact that he has some degree of experience on the collegiate level. Was really impressed with some of the things that he did late in the Purdue game with the run-pass option. Had a nice run there towards the end. So the Auburn fan base has every reason to be very excited about this kid out of Bertram Trail High School that will finally get his chance. 4-star recruit, 97%. So that means, he really was tweaking the line. He was probably about 1/10 of a point away from being a 5-star recruit coming out of the Bertram Trail High School ranks. Once again, it's K2 to go for Vernon Speaks Sports. Let's go ahead and get this comment section active. Like this video. Comment. Please comment. If you feel like I said something that's just bogus, that's cool. We want all opinions on Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're talking about Auburn like nobody's MFing business. War Eagle.